Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Storytime with Rob. Today is Friday, and you know what that means. It's fabulous, festive Friday, self-improvement Saturday, and I'm happy to be with you. And I'm going to jump right into this. It's time for some good news. So, I don't know if you've seen this trend happening around the world, but if you look on YouTube, you'll be able to see a few of this silly walks. So what they do is some of these blocks, they post a sign that says this: "You have entered the jurisdiction of Ministry of Silly Walks. Commence silly walking." And then they videotape these people walking down the sidewalks, and you can do whatever you want. It is so funny. So beware, and if you find one, you better participate. Speaking of which, hundreds of cities worldwide are making streets into cycling and pedestrian walkways. So during the pandemic, they just shut down the vehicles and travel and they turned them into bikes and walking only. Well, it's been so popular and successful, they're going to make many of these roads and streets permanent, which I think is actually pretty dang cool. How about this? An 11-year-old, now wrap your head around that, 11 years old. I can't even remember what I was doing when I was 11 years old. Skateboarder makes history by landing the first ever 1080-degree turn on a vertical ramp. Think about that. 360 is what, one turned? 1080 is ridiculous. Just to give you some perspective in that, for you skateboarding guys, this young man's name is Guy Curry, 11 years old. Just to give you some perspective, Tony Hawk, who is the legendary Hall of Famer skateboarder, probably one of the best ever to stand on a skateboard, spent most of his life just to accomplish and land a 900. Okay? And he didn't do that until he was a little bit older. This young man, 11 years old, that's phenomenal. How about this guy? Devoted Tennessee father, Torrance Burnson, went above and beyond the duty as his daughter was graduating from college. She was pretty upset that she couldn't walk in her commencement because they canceled it. And so he rented and purchased everything to put on a full commencement right in his front yard on the lawn. I mean, stage, podium, backdrops, the whole 9 yards. Invited all the family members that they had, 40, and placed the seats 6 feet apart. Great things to come for that family, of course. Good for them. This story is amazing. Rival gangs in Cape Town, South Africa, agreed to an unprecedented truce. So these gangs got together through the help of a minister in the area. And during this pandemic, they got together and they not only just called a truce and came together, but they then, through the help of the ministry and the community, took thousands of pounds and bags of much needed food to the poor and needy communities of the rival gang areas in which they lived. What an amazing thing during this pandemic. Not only that, but in South Africa, there's a 75% drop in violent crime in that country since the pandemic, which is quite fascinating to me. Good job for you guys. How about the Shantezes? I don't know if you heard this story. So they're driving down the road in Virginia, and a car swerves to miss a bag that was laying in the road. So first off, they pulled off, which I think is incredible in itself, to grab the bag and pull it off the side of the road. Not only did they pull it off the road, they thought it was garbage. They actually put it in their trunk so they could take it home and throw it away. When they got home later that evening, they took the bags out and opened them up. And there were hundreds of bags of full of cash. These bags were intended to go to banks by the Postal Service, I believe, which somehow ended up in the middle of the street. They deliberated on what to do with it, and because they wanted to set a great example for their young sons, they called the police and turned the money in, and there was just under $1 million worth of cash in those bags. Congratulations to our new graduates here locally. We're having a drive-by graduation here because we can't use the high school for the graduation. So all the cars are going to line up at the high school, and the graduate is going to sit in the passenger seat with a cap and gown on, and they're going to drive through, hand the diploma through the passenger window, and afterwards they're going to have a parade escorted, I believe, by police through our town, where we're going to be on the side of the street cheering and rooting them on, and we're pretty excited about that. I will be there. Just a shout out to a few notables that I am friends with, good people in our community. Harlan Gunderson, what an incredible young man, kind, loving. He's an amazing football player, wrestler, and track sprinter extraordinaire. He's, I believe, going on a mission later this fall. Lucy Barron, what an amazing heart she has. She's a fantastic artist, and I look for great things from you in the future. Mick Wynn, anybody that knows Mick Wynn knows that he is an incredible example of how to be a friend literally to anyone. He's an incredible athlete, football, wrestling, and baseball, and I believe he will be serving a mission also later this fall. Travis Cady, this kid will someday probably be on Forbes magazine. He's a hard worker and entrepreneur extraordinaire. Congratulations. Calvin Bates. Calvin he has a super dry sense of humor, but he is very dedicated. Even though track season was canceled this year, I see him running everywhere in the community. He's also planning on serving a mission later on this fall. Congratulations to Catherine Santos, a beautiful, bright young woman. She's heading to New York to go to school. I don't know what your parents are thinking out there, sending their daughter to New York, but anyway, it'll be a grand adventure, I'm sure. Sarah Latham. What can be said about Sarah Latham? She's one of the most amazing young women, one of the happiest, good-hearted, good-natured people that I know. Incredible work ethic, especially with running. And whatever she plans on doing in the future, people are going to be magnetized to her personality. She's that kind of a person. And her sidekick, best friend Sage Root. She is one of the greatest, most humble young women her age on the planet. And I'm not just saying that because I'm related to her. She's my cousin. But honestly, she's like the Mother Teresa of Harney County. She is, if she were to compete in a race, and whether she took first place or 50th place, she's going to be the first one out there to congratulate everybody that even participated and tell them how awesome they are. That's just the kind of person she is. She's off to Hawaii to go to college. Sounds like a great place to be. Autumn Johnson, a beautiful young woman and funny. If you get to know her, she's actually really, really funny. She has a contagious smile and a devious smile as well, so watch out. She's off to college in Idaho. Congratulations to you. Let's see. How about Sam Grigg? Awesome young man. Although he may be short in stature, his spirit is as large as the sky. Expect great things from you as well. Talisha Thomas, another great young woman. Metallica Yanez. Think about it, with a name like Metallica, what kind of future do you have? Awesome. Shout out to my nephew Stockton Evenson, who just graduated from Utah State University in a double major. I can't even wrap my head around that. Great job. For my self-improvement Saturday session, this is what I want you to think about, really short. I want you to picture yourself, whether you're 18 or 80 years old, doesn't matter, because you have the rest of your life ahead of you, no matter how old you are. Walking across the stage, or in our case, doing a drive-by diploma handout, and I want you to think about this. As you get your diploma, as you're leaving the stage, they say something like, Rob is going on to blank. What does that look like to you? I want you to make some notes, write down a few things. You have the whole rest of your life ahead of you. What is it that is on your blank slate for the future? I hope that you put some creative things down there, step outside your comfort zones a little bit, push yourselves, and do amazing and great things. Stay tuned for Sunday because I'm going to have a special one for you. And until tomorrow, be safe.